Okay, guys, welcome to episode 4 of the Buzz Panel. It's proudly brought to you by our sponsors, Jack's Poker Australia's #1 online store for all your premium poker needs. Go visit www.jackspoker.com.au and remember to use your discount code people PokerBars10. That's the number 10, so PokerBars10 for your 10% off your order. So in today's Buzz Panel, we've got two handsome lads sitting there waiting to be introduced. These are the Big Boyz Poker from Sydney, Nathan Bone and Jeff Criddle. Welcome.
Thanks, Saula. Thanks for having us.
How are you?
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for coming on, boys. So I just thought it'd be nice not only introduce another league from another state, for example, because not everybody knows everybody in the zoo, so to speak. So I thought it'd be nice to have you guys on to get your perspective of this poker lockdown that's happening across Australia and the world, but more importantly here in our own backyard. Yeah, I know. So can I just ask, how's it going down there for you guys?
It's interesting. A lot of quiet is happening around. A lot of people scratching their heads, asking the question, what do we do now? Where can we go? How am I going to do something? How am I going to see anybody that I normally see? Yeah, they see everybody at the table, but they're not communicating with them. So just trying to reach out, touch base, and look after each other as a community. Has always been
the social aspect would have just died for everybody, obviously, and some people really rely on that.
Yeah, we have a lot of regulars who see each other only at the poker tables, and they make good friendships, and they can catch up at the games because they know it's such a habit where they're there all the time that they go, right, we know that person. Yes, I don't know everything about them, but we have a great time with them. They have a bit of fun, and they go, right, and then they're going, wow, where's that person? Are they doing all right? And you go, yeah, everybody's doing cool. They're all sort of in the same boat as you, X, Y, Z, or whoever I'm talking to at the time.
And just to let everybody, sorry, Nathan, just to let everyone know that you are doing social distancing, but you just live in the same house. It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah,
we're isolated.
Right.
We're isolated. We've covered our 4 meters. Trust me, if he gets any closer than 4 meters,
drama.
That's why we just sit back a little bit here. So, yeah.
Oh, good on you, boys. There's my first snort for the panel. It's great.
First snort of the panel, and the fifth one since we started. You're on fire today.
I know. It's Sunday too, right?
But no, it's crazy. A little bit about the social distancing. 1 minute we were just focusing on washing hands and sanitizing and Glen 20 and antibacterial wipes. The next minute it's 1.5 meters. The next minute all the venues are just saying, sorry guys, it's time to close. So it's been a fairly scary, accelerated closure of poker tables, which is, something a lot of our players have been focusing on. And it's hard for them to catch up. It's hard for them to find a game. And unfortunately now, with venues being shut, there's just, not a great deal for them to do.
And even from our standpoint, it's hard to organise games. We've cancelled bigger games. We're cancelling regular games. Got venues that are going, oh, no, we need to shut. Then they're saying, no, we can run a game now. But now, oh, no, we can't. And so day by day, it was always craziness at the very start. They're trying to organise everyone to do stuff. And you see posts going up. I see other operators and stuff down here in other leagues that are struggling the same boat. And they go, all right, we'll take the safe measure. We stopped all our games a little bit beforehand. Then we got hit by venues going, no, we can do it again. So we went to start looking at adding 1 or 2 venues only. But then it became, no, we can't do anything now with indoors. And it's that uncertainty that caused a lot of problems, not just with the shops and the situations there and what people can do within their house. But if you poker specifically, venues don't know what's going on. Operators are getting mixed messages from everywhere, so we don't know what to provide. We'll just maintain, or do we take the safer option and shut down? And then the players are going, what's going on? That league's doing this league's doing that. It's just a cock up of information that came through, which means across all leagues, you can't do anything, not just here in Sydney, but Australia-wide.
Yeah, true. Even up here, we sort of went exactly the same. It was from being able to have, the 50 in the venue, and then it went down to that 1.5 meters. I mean, as you know, on a round table, you have your 8 players. 1.5 meters ain't going to cut the 8 players. Even if you brought out the final tables, you'd have your players on a final table. Well, you can't really run a tournament with 4 on a table either.
It literally became unviable overnight.
It just happened so fast, and it was so much to digest, not only for the businesses, the league owners, but for the players. It was just confusing across the board. As you said, some leagues were still operating. Other leagues took the initiative and just shut down from the beginning. As soon as that 1.5 meters came in, it was like, well, how do we do this? It was so sad to see. Like within 2 weeks, boom, from one extreme to the other.
And you take the amount of games that happen here in just Sydney alone, let alone the rest of New South Wales, and the amount of games with the amount of operators and franchisees for the different leagues, and you just go, what's everyone going to do? That's thousands of people every week are going to multiple games. It's thousands and thousands of people, and they're just now sitting there scratching their head going, what do we do now? I'm bored. Oh, they're now getting to spend 2 weeks since a lot of people have played a live game for some of the leagues, 2 weeks for other leagues, and they haven't had a live game, and they're all really trying to find other alternatives. And then you get the usual stuff that comes with it. One crowd says this, one crowd says that. It's just like, one crowd says this about religion, another crowd says it's the same across all fields.
It happens.
You hate others and you haters of everything. Some people will do things, what's the word I'm looking for? On it with integrity.
Yep.
Some people won't, and that's with everything. You see it, like I said, from like 2 extremes within the poker world, within pastors, within shop cafe owners, within it's across all different industries. Always, some people will operate with integrity, others won't.
And the most important thing is you've just got to take your community safety and standards into act. The one thing you don't want to do as an operator who's working with the community is put anyone at risk, not for the sake of a game of cards.
Yeah, bit of common sense.
As much fun as we have, you've got to do the right thing by the people that trust you, and you've just got to draw a line in the sand.
I agree. So with you boys, what do you then, your take on the certainty of poker now with this, due to the pandemic, what do you...
After it all dies down and we start looking at setting up again, I think a bit of a restructure within the industry and the way we approach games has to happen.
Say that again. I think that's a really good point.
There has to be a restructure, especially the way we deliver games. Now, some leagues are already starting to look at changes, and other ones are so stuck in their ways that they only think about the way they're set up and the way they run their games, that's all they'll ever do. But when you look at this, take it 2 steps back and you look at what goes on, you sit there and go, you still got to deliver a game when we come out of this. Now you got to look at the financial situations of people. They're already struggling. There's so many layoffs and all that sort of stuff. Now, how are you going to deliver games that with such massive buy-ins, for instance, to do such, the guarantees there, but you've got to look at the whole thing. What a lot of people don't realize is the social economics of everything. We're pretty much going to be in a recession. Now, how do you get out of that? Is anybody planning that now? Is anybody even bothering to look at it, or everybody's sitting there twiddling their thumbs going, what do we do next?
That's right. It's not like it'll just pick up where it left off. You're going to have to contemplate that. People aren't going to have the, the slush funds, the extra cash to just go out there and pick their entertainment up where they left off. So, there's going to need to be a serious amount of refocusing on what you can deliver versus what people are going to be able to attend.
And then you obviously adapt and grow that. But if we look at the attitudes of what the players are wanting now and the way what the styles of games they want, the type of games, the things like some of the stuff that we're going for the last 10 years, they were already on their way out. For anybody who was willing to look at properly and listen to players and stuff, that style of game is already being dropped off. They're already looking at other things. And I'm not talking short deck. I'm not talking that sort of stuff. No, it's the way you deliver your normal Texas Hold'em games and how that has to change. Your attitudes and your focus need to stop being about an operator and what used to work. But, hey, what do, the people want, what they can afford, what's feasible for a venue. If you can look at that, what the player aspects and what things, and then you find yourself in the way there. Because that's what we've always done from the start. Since we've started, we are relatively new, but we already had the plans and starting to work towards our own from nothing 12 months ago to $100,000, $120,000 series by the end of this year, which is now all put on hold. So it can be done, and it can be done quickly. Yeah, been in the industry for a while, but we are new as a league. But it can be done so properly if you actually bother to factor in the right things instead of just going down the same old path that everybody else does and copying the norm of everybody else. So if the industry changes itself a little bit, a lot more can be done, a lot more innovative things can be done. And if people and all the industry work together, we can see changes to things like the online game. We can see changes to the way that things are happening. It can actually be more of a positive impact across the country in general, but just coming from our own aspects. Because you look at any charity game that any league runs, how much positive can it help when we do the farmers games, when we do the flood relief games, when we do all these different things, like for the rural fire service guys, we all ran these changes. We can generate a lot of things, and the poker community as a whole, the players are very, willing to donate and give time and give a little bit of their efforts. And they also want something for themselves, but they're more than happy to help. But now if we can harness that together, imagine what changes could happen just within our own country, let alone overseas or anything like that across the greater community.
I think importantly for the player, for the game.
Exactly. What I believe too is, I think my opinion, obviously, is I wish there was a poker governing body that could come into this, that exactly what you said, Nathan, was everybody working in this industry together. Whether you're the big franchisees, and the independents, it shouldn't be different because you're all delivering the same game. Different levels, do you know what I mean? With different personalities, etc., with everybody's take in it. But, for example, like everybody doing their big events, which is great. And it's a form of growth within every league, whether it be the independents or the big boys, as in, excuse the pun there, the bigger leagues. So my thing would be like a poker industry governing body that everyone puts in their dates, for example, and be able to put it across the board, that so they're not overlapping with each other and competing for the players. And it makes it so hard. As a player myself, I'd like to have my own freedom of being able to play this game, that series, that big series, and not have to choose between both.
And that's all right for most. I'd say that 70% of the players are in the same boat, having to choose which one do I go to, which one do I want to show loyalty to, only that sort of thing. Is it this guy's? Is it that guy's?
No loyalty in poker players. Sorry, that's my.
I know, but a lot of them, I know there aren't, but of the ones that are, and we like. I'd like to say we've got players that are loyal to what we do because they like what we do. But then again, they'll go and play the other leagues, and we encourage them. Even at our major games, we get everybody coming with from their own leagues, from their own areas, and people only come to our bigger games, and they're all dressed up in their gear. And we encourage it. We don't have that. We're not sitting there out trying to take everybody out, try and do stuff. It's Anyway, it's we encourage it and we sort of try and do it. But the problem is, it's across the operators. A lot of the infighting that happens amongst the leagues is what's going to stop the likes of what you're saying coming true. And as much as we want something to go forward, that comes down to people taking the chips off their own shoulders. Like, get rid of it, change your attitude. And hopefully something like this, on a positive aspect, will bring a lot of people to start opening their eyes and looking left and right, taking those blinkers off and start looking at other ways in which we can work as a poker community together to do more, not just for our players, but for our venues. And ultimately, by doing those, then it comes back to help ourselves.
Definitely. So with you guys, I know you're doing like tickets and that into other bigger games. So what's happened with that with you? Do you have your own protocol that you're abiding by for the players for those? What happens to that?
We affiliate with a few of the other major leagues for the reasons that we want our players to go and do bigger things as well. So in doing that, we do tend to go, all right, for those other larger operators that we jump into, it's what are they? We will follow the policies and everything that they do. So then again, what's the right way to put that? We follow what they say. So if they've given us the guidelines that this is how they're delivering, if it's a postponing of an event, if it's a refund or event, then we follow that same process, because just like a player, okay, granted, I'm buying 150 tickets to their events, not one ticket to their event, to get it across more players. But those 150 tickets are still treated exactly the same as somebody coming in off the street and buying one of their tickets. So we follow the same protocols and everything that they issue to a normal player. We follow those as well. We try and do the same thing.
That's right. We're governed basically by their policy. So if they're willing to allow those tickets to be, used in the next event, then great.
Transferred, refunded, same thing.
If they're offering transfers and refunds, that's right.
Yeah, so we do that, because at the same day, it's the same as if I personally went and bought a ticket and I'm holding one ticket. It's the same as if I'm issuing it out to all the players who win at our venues or win at our games, and they're going to these bigger games. It's the same process. It's like we don't try and change it around. We don't twist it or manipulate it. No, it's very transparent. Keep it simple. It's not a hard process, honesty.
No, that's awesome. Okay, guys, all the seriousness aside, are you up for 60 seconds with Queen Bee?
60 seconds? Wow. That's cuddle time afterwards.
You're showing your age now, boys.
That's cuddle time afterwards.
Okay, you both have to answer it. It doesn't matter who goes first, right?
You go first.
All right,
you go first.
Oh, Jeff, you've been thrown in the ring first. Okay, you ready? Let me get my 60 seconds on the clock. One moment. Where's my little timer? Oh, yeah.
That's not what you call it now, you kids.
Yeah, timer.
My egg timer.
That would be
I'm so young in this conversation.
Okay, you ready?
All right. Come on, oldie. Let's go.
Okay, black or red on the roulette table?
Red.
Black.
Favorite number?
Once you go black, you never go back. I'm sorry.
That's what they say. I don't know.
Yeah, I just follow Wesley Snipes every day
goes
of the week.
faster.
Oh my lordy.
Bet on black, baby.
Favorite number?
7.
13.
Okay. Scenario: pocket aces pre-flop. Do you jam all in or do you raise?
Ooh, raise. Get value.
I raise, but raise good. That way I only get serious people that do it. So none of this little 2.5x crap. No, raise good, don't shove.
Okay, don't shove. Okay, so if you had the chance to play and your buy-in was paid for, what tournament would you choose?
Super high rollerball.
Probably WSOP main event.
Which one?
Super high rollerball. It's the structure and the way the actual playing dynamics supersede a lot of the other stuff that most of us come across, and it's great. I love the challenge of it.
Oh, watching it live was unbelievable. On the coast this year, we were fortunate to be there, so it was great. What about you, Jeff?
Oh, look, I've always wanted to play in the main event, WSOP. I think that's probably in Vegas. Let's go, baby. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Won't be till next year, maybe, but we'll get there. Okay, and the last question, I think it might go down well in the crisis that we are at the moment. What's your favourite drink?
Oh, anything with Jack Daniels in it.
Oh, JD boy.
Yeah, I'm Scotch. Like I was lucky enough to finish my bottle of Monkey Shoulder. Now I'm on to a few other weird and wonderful things that I've got sitting in my cabinet. But as long as a whiskey,
Scotch,
just give me a whiskey, good whiskey.
Okay, cool. So that's our minute up. So everyone, don't forget to join us on our socials by following us on Insta and Twitter, liking and sharing our PokerBuzz page on Facebook, where you can also leave some comments on today's topic, either to myself or to the big boys, both Nathan and Jeff. And until next time, it's bye from Sula, and thank you again to Nathan and Jeff from Big Boyz Poker in Sydney.
Thanks, Queen Bee.
See you, boys.